The main concept that the growth marriage idea is built on is that by transforming yourself, you can transform your relationship. That you can use your relationship as a catalyst to improve yourself and make yourself a better human being. And one of the most powerful tools that you can use to not only transform yourself, but transform your relationship is gratitude. Whenever you express gratitude towards your partner, they get a little hit of dopamine and they think, oh my gosh, when I do this thing, I get praise, I get love, I get attention, I get validation, and it makes them want to do more of that thing. But more importantly, when you express gratitude, it also changes you, changes how you view your partner. It changes how you experience them, how you see them. And it makes you look more specifically for the good things that they bring into your life instead of focusing on the bad things like so many of us do. Here's a great example of how gratitude can change your marriage. This happened to a woman who recently participated in the Epic Wives experiment. In the Epic Wives experiment, we always dedicate a day or two to expressing gratitude and to explain why that's so important. So this woman took the challenge and she did the experiments, and this was her result. This is what she said. She said, I've been married for 25 years. We have 5 kids, and much of our marriage has been happy. The last few years, though, things have changed. We started to feel like we were stuck in a cycle of not trusting each other. I realized that I have been micromanaging my spouse. I've been disrespectful and controlling. I have to have an opinion on everything he does. Last week, after our gratitude lesson, it broke my heart because he bought the groceries and he brought them inside. And as he took each thing out of the grocery bag, he would glance at me to see if I was going to disapprove of him. So after she experienced this, she decided she wanted to start focusing more on gratitude. So she took the challenge and she said, my husband has said the nicest things to me lately. He does so much around the house now. He is engaging with our kids like a champion. We are laughing together. We have kissed more in the last week than in the last year combined. He wants to spend time with me, and I want to spend time with him. He has started to trust me again, and we are so in love. That is the power of changing your perspective. That is the power of using one little tool like gratitude to change yourself and, in turn, change the dynamic of your relationship. But whenever I share a story like this, there's always somebody who comes to me and says, yeah, but I've tried that and it didn't work. I tried expressing gratitude and my partner still calls me names or still ignores me or still says mean things to me. And that is what I want to talk more about on today's episode. Realistically, at some point, your marriage is going to hit a roadblock. You're going to run into a problem or an issue that you need to resolve. And at that point, you need to make some decisions. What are you going to do about it? And before you decide what to do about it, you need to get some clarity. The clarity I'm talking about is specifically what part of your relationship not working the way you want is your responsibility and what part of it is your partner's responsibility. Because ultimately, you can only change what you can control. And that's your thoughts, your words, your feelings, your desires, and your actions. And you cannot control the thoughts, words, feelings, and desires and actions of your partner. If you do, it'll drive you nuts. Your partner's going to feel like you're trying to manipulate them. You're not going to experience success. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to feel like a failure. Nothing good comes from trying to control things that are outside your control. And yet this is the mistake I see a lot of people make. They start practicing gratitude. They're working on it themselves. They're trying to make themselves better. They're trying to clean up their side of the street. And they do it under the expectation that if I take care of my stuff, if I do the work on my side of the street, my partner is going to want to clean up their side of the street as well. They're going to meet me halfway. They're going to take some responsibility for the things that they're doing to contribute to the problems in our relationship. And when I change my behavior and my partner doesn't respond by changing theirs in turn, I feel like a failure. And that is not how this works. If you are only changing your behavior so you can manipulate your partner into showing up the way that you want them to show up in your relationship so that you can feel better about your marriage or so you can feel more loved or more validated, your partner will feel manipulated. They're going to feel like there's a hidden agenda. They're going to feel like a failure. They're going to resist changing themselves. The work has to start with you. Your motivation has to be that you are making changes because that's the type of person that you want to be. It's the type of partner that you want to be. And in order for you to have the relationship that you want, this is how you have to show up. And when you show up purely for yourself, because you're trying to grow into the person that you need to grow into in order to have the marriage you want to have, without an agenda to change your partner's actions, then your partner gets put into a really uncomfortable position because they can no longer blame the problems in the marriage on a mutual dynamic that you are participating in. If you're no longer participating in the destructive cycles that have been wreaking havoc in your relationship for so long, then your partner has nobody to blame for their misery and their frustration with the relationship than themselves. And at this point, they get two choices. They can choose to, one, change, or two, leave. Now, it's up to them what they choose. And sometimes they choose to leave, and often they choose to stay, but they're never forced into a position where they have to make that choice until you take responsibility for the things that you're responsible for without an agenda. So gratitude is so powerful in your marriage, along with so many other principles, but it's only powerful when you utilize it in the right settings and with the right mindset. Now, there are other tools and mindsets and principles that you need to master in order to have the relationship that you want. And if you want to learn more about that, I recently recorded a 1-hour workshop. I put a lot of time into this. It's really awesome. The goal of this workshop is to essentially lay out the blueprint, to give you the playbook to have an epic marriage. It's 1 hour long. It's super easy to find. You just go to epicmarriageclub.com, and on that homepage, near the very top, there's a button that you can click to watch the workshop for free. Go check it out and let me know what you think about it. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you leave me a note to let me know.